when you practice, you have to get used to patterns. Kasi certain patterns show up all the time in Irish music. Pero syempre there are many, no? But we'll start with a very basic one. Unfortunately, it's not the pattern of Virginia, the one we studied, the reel we studied last week. But by using a capo, this pattern will crop up in the jigs that we'll play on October 3 over and over again. So, sana you have a capo na by October 3. Okay. The pattern is using the first type of chords, the first chord shapes that you learned. The pattern is D, G, D, A. Napakasimple eh. For reals eh. That's so easy. Slow mo tong webcam, so just bear with me. Anyway, the pattern again is D, G, D, and A. Okay. Now, regardless of what type of chord shape you use for the A part, di ba? Yung jigs, reels, and most Irish tunes have, excuse me, most Irish tunes have two parts, part A and part B. So regardless of what type of pattern you use in part A, there's a pattern that becomes very useful for part B. Take it out. Okay. And it's this one. B minor. Unfortunately, it's the one that's difficult to play. B minor, G, there, one finger G, one finger D, and one finger A. So again, a part B will sound something like this. For reals yan kasi, well, jig time is different eh, di ba? Let's do that later. Okay. Now, using the second type of shape, yung two fingers. Okay, here's D, if you recall, no? And then G. Ay, that sounds really bad again. D, G, D, and A. One finger covers two strings. Diba? So, part B na, same. Okay. That can also be yung one finger type na here. You know the works. Now, let's go to the third type. Ito yung bagong lesson. The shapes that you'll take up on Saturday morning. There are three finger shapes. Sa D, G, D, A lang tayo ulit. So this is your two finger shape for D. Right, hide that finger there. One here and one here. You'll have to refer to the PDFs kasi mahirap eh makita dito. That's D. By adding my little finger, it becomes the third. It becomes a third shape type. Okay, now, yung G is like this. These two fingers here and that one there. That's the one I use. Okay, balik sa I just slide these two fingers. So they never leave the strings. I only lift one finger. I only lift this dirty finger, there, and go back to the D. There. And then my A is still the two finger A. Okay, so again that sounds like this, part B. Diba? So if I were to play, I'll use my virtual Michael McGoldrick. I set the tempo to 200. Okay, this is the very blacksmith. Balamang yung the little group, the small group will play this. Okay, so ito siya. Let's play it. Part B. Yeah. Okay. Shut. So we'll go into that more in depth into that on Saturday.